Hello, TeamEXAngus here, and today in this tutorial I'm going to be recreating my first ever video and showing you guys how to make a pneumatic diversity vent in the Hammer World Editor for Portal 2. Now I'm assuming you're going to have the basics down pat at the very least, enough to kind of get started. We've got ourselves a room here, so if you don't know how to do that, this tutorial probably isn't for you. But for the most part we are going to go everything from scratch. So what you're going to want to do is grab yourself an entity in your room, and you can turn this into a prop underscore static. Once we've done that, you can go down to the world model. That you can type in cube, I believe, if I can spell correct. And here we have all these vac tube models are the ones you're going to want to use. I think we're just going to start off with a straight. So we're going to use vac tube 128 straight. That's kind of the default model we're going to use. Now we can position this correctly just so it fits in with everything alright. And then next step is to just duplicate this along. So now that we've got the pipe, what we're going to want to do is grab ourselves another entity tool. We can turn this one to a Alright, so what you're going to want to do is get a prop underscore weighted underscore cube, which you can set to any skin. It doesn't really matter for the sake of this tutorial, so we're just going to leave that there. What you're going to want to do is give this a name. So I'm going to do it cube underscore template. And what we're going to do is another entity right next to it. What we're going to make this is a point underscore template. And all this cube underscore point underscore template. Names doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want. And down at template 1, we're going to select cube underscore template. Now, just to make everything easier, we're going to drag this template inside of this cube, so that they're on top of each other like this. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press save, because let's not crash again, that would be unfortunate. You're going to want to get another entity tool down here. We make this a env underscore entity underscore maker, and we can call this cube underscore maker for the sake of being fun, because why not? Down at point template to spawn, you're going to want to get the name of your template. So in my case, cube point template. Okay, now we can just drag this somewhere in the pipe where you want your cube to spawn. Now this is where a little bit of trial and error comes in, because you're going to want to set a post spawn movement direction here. You're going to want to set this value to whatever's correct for your pipe. I'm going to need to work this out for myself, and you're most likely going to have to work it out for your own map. I honestly use trial and error. There's probably a smarter way to do it. The other thing you're going to want to do though is, it's up to you, but I like to check enable auto spawn, and even if the player is looking, because that just means it'll constantly keep spawning. Now I'm going to set a random value for our post spawn movement speed. That is down, let's say, what's that, 270? Let's give 270 a shot. And for the post spawn movement speed, I like to set that to 10,000. I feel like that's a good speed to have the things moving through a pipe. But again, all up to you. So what I'm going to do is save the map. I'm going to run the map. Alright, after some trial and error, I've gotten this to work. The value for me is actually the opposite of what I put in, 090 rather than 0270. So this will get it to fly along the pipe and get to this bend. But once it gets to this bend, it's kind of stopped. It spawns moving this direction, but it doesn't keep moving by itself. That's where we're going to want to get our block tool out and go to the corner here. Where's a good perspective of it? Here we go. This will do. We want to get our block tool. And most importantly, we set the skin to the trigger skin. We can make it whatever size you want. I'm just making it big because that's easier. I can't be damned fiddling with it. Alright, so we can build ourselves a block, get our selection tool properties. Now once you're in here, Control T. And we can turn this into a trigger underscore push. Because we want to push things. Now I'm going to save this real quick before we continue editing it. So first thing we want to do, direction of push. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave this at 0 for the sake of testing, but I'll let you know if that's incorrect. Once again, we set the speed to 10,000. Now, if all goes well, they should fly through the pipe. Once they reach here, they get pushed around to the side. In fact, I think I might just move it this way, just to try and stop them from getting stuck on this corner. And I can save this. The important thing you're not going to want to forget to do is to, if I can open the properties, come in here in flags and check whatever you want to be pushed. I'm just going to select physics objects because that's all that's going to be going through my pipes. But if you're doing something more advanced, you may need to set your own things. Now I can run the map and hopefully this will be going well. Alright, so this part is working as intended. We do still have this last, I guess, leg of the pipe that we need to build triggers for. So we can come in here and build this. And trigger skin again, just because. And then we can properties, Control T. Control T, we can turn this again to a trigger underscore push. Now we can set this push speed to 10,000. Direction of push we can just set to up. Let's make sure speed 10,000. Push direction up. Apply. Let's save that first. Then we can do flags, physics objects. Now, because you're going to be working against gravity, I like to be a lot more liberal with my use of triggers. Again, this is just something up to you, but I tend to cover the entire pipe in triggers if I'm moving something upwards, because that just means that it does. Now, we should have everything flowing through the pipe if I were to run the world, but there is one key problem here, that being that there's nothing to destroy the cubes if they're to make their way through the pipe. That's why you're going to want to get one more trigger block up the top here, Control T and then trigger put. I mean a trigger, and then we do a trigger underscore multiple for this one. I'm getting sick of crashing, so I'm going to auto save again. Now we can do flags, check physics object, apply. In outputs, I believe you add output named on start touch, target entity named exclamation point activator. Via this input kill. Thus, whenever this runs, whenever something touches this final trigger, it will be destroyed. So, go ahead and save, run the map, and we should have a working pneumatic diversity vent for ourselves. So, getting stuck problem, simple fix that I like to do, just shorten this trigger here. If we can actually reduce the grid a bit and expand it just a smidge, that should stop it from happening. Anyways, looks like the problem is solved. And if it looks like it's solved, then it's good enough. Anyway, I know there is a way you can do this with animation so that it doesn't have this annoying cube crashing and shit sound. I don't know how to do that. Go find another tutorial if you want that. Now, one last thing that you may be here for is, Angus, I want to put chairs in my pipes because that was a haha funny video you made the other day. Well, you've come to the right place now. Just, you want to make a chair. Let's just go into this guy, our cube. Properties. We want to turn this from a prop wedge to underscore cube to prop underscore physics. That's pretty simple. And now we want to find the world model tag. We just want to set this to chair. Now, the one that I used in my video was, let me find it, this, lab chair. We don't change anything else. That's all we need to change. Then we can go and file. Anyways, chair pipes. That's it. That's all it is. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. I don't do too much of this sort of content, but like, I'd like to think that my content is worth watching, so it would mean a lot if you could subscribe. Anyways, have a nice day. Overthrow the government.